Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everybody doing today? So for today's video, we are going to be doing another comparison video, but instead of comparing a weapon, this time we'll be comparing a species from the Halo series. Previously, for this particular type of comparison, we compared Spartans, and this time we're going to be comparing elites to see which Halo game has the strongest elites. Now I know there's been like other videos out there where people have compared elites before and other Covenant species to see which one has the strongest one, but those comparisons were more based on observations and other stuff like that. This comparison will be using actual numbers from the game files, the actual stats. So it'll be an objective comparison this time around. And as for determining time to kill for each elite, we'll be using the Halo 3 assault rifle stats, which have a damage per second of 75. So just keep that in mind before when we get to time to kill later. But anyways, let's jump right into Halo 1 elites. Obviously, these are the very original elites, and let's take a look at what kind of stats they have. They have 100 points of health, which is pretty high actually, especially when you take a look at some of the later elites. Apparently, they don't have a health recharge time, so when you damage them, they never heal, which is kind of like the Spartans too. Except elites can't pick up health packs, so once you do damage, it's kind of permanent. Their shields have 100 points of health to them as well, and it takes the shields 10 seconds to recharge. However, there's a 12-second delay after you pop their shield, so it's more like 22 seconds. And these elites do 35 points of melee damage to you. And using a Halo 3 assault rifle on them, it would take 2.67 seconds to kill them. Now, before we continue the next one, keep in mind that all these numbers are actually on normal difficulty, because normal difficulty is the base stats for all the characters in all the Halo games. Different difficulties will have different multipliers, but we're just going to use the base stats. So that's why we're using normal difficulty. But anyways, the next Halo game we're going to be taking a look at is Halo 2. Halo 2 elites have quite a bit of a redesign actually visually, not just on Anniversary but also on classic graphics. But as for their stats, they've also changed a lot. Their health has been dropped from 100 all the way down to 30. Their health has been nerfed a lot, but their health does heal over time. It takes 5 seconds for them to fully heal, but there's a 10-second delay after their shields have been after their health is drained before they start healing. Their shields have also been reduced in strength a bit. Instead of 100, it's now 70. But their shields recharge pretty quickly, just like the Spartan shields actually. 2 seconds to fully recharge, 5-second delay though before they start recharging. Their melee damage is actually the same as Halo 1 though. They still do 35 points of melee damage. But using a Halo 3 assault rifle on them, it would take 1.33 seconds to kill these elites, so they do die a lot faster than Halo 1's elites. But it's not like a huge difference, but you know, they are weaker than Halo 1's elites, that's for sure. Now, Halo 2 actually had two kinds of elites, not just the regular elites, but they also have Heretic elites. And you would think that Heretic elites are actually the same as the regular elites, but they are actually a little different than the regular elites. Different enough that I'm going to throw them into this comparison. So Halo 2 actually have two elites that we'll be comparing for this video. So let's take a look at these elites now. These elites have a health of 40, which is a little higher than the regular elites. Just a little bit, 10 points higher. As for their health recharge time, it actually seems like they don't recharge their health. So once you damage them, it's kind of permanent damage. At least according to the numbers in the game files, so that seems to be the case. But anyways, the rest is fairly similar. Their shields, 70, shield recharge time's a little different. It takes them 2 seconds to fully recharge, but there's an 8-second delay. Their melee damage is the same. However, as you saw in my previous video, their melees are actually their aim, the damage cone, is facing the wrong direction, so most of the time when they hit you, it actually won't do any damage to you. But anyways, their time to kill is slightly higher than the regular elites, 1.47 seconds, if you use the Halo 3 assault rifle on them. So the Heretic elites are actually a little stronger than the regular elites in Halo 2. Now, the next game is Halo 3. The elites overall, they look mostly the same as Halo 2's elites. Their armor's a little shinier now, but the biggest difference is that now the elites are your allies throughout the game, unless you betray them, or you do certain glitches, or you mod the game to make them your enemies. But despite that, let's take a look at what these elites are like compared to the previous elites. Alrighty, so these elites have a health of 30 points, just like Halo 2's. Their health recharge time is actually also the same. Takes 5 seconds for them to fully heal, but 10 seconds before they even start healing. As for their shields, it's also pretty much the same, 70 points of shield health. Their shield recharge time is 2 seconds to fully recharge, with a 5-second delay before. And melee damage is also 35. And finally, with the Halo 3 assault rifle, we have a time to kill of 1.33. So Halo 3's elites are indeed identical to Halo 2's regular elites. Now that being said, some people have asked for comparisons involving like other factors, like how effective weapons are, or like how effective the AIs are and stuff like that. Technically speaking, Halo 3's weapons do a little bit more damage to elites. So technically, Halo 2's elites would be perceived as a little stronger, because Halo 2's weapons tend to be a little weaker than Halo 3's in some cases. But that doesn't really matter, because we're just comparing the base elites and just only the elites. But anyways, next game is Halo Reach. Yes, ODST does actually have elites, and yes, they're all dead, but they do actually have statistics as well. But they're identical to Halo 3's, so we're not even going to bother comparing that one. But let's get right into Halo Reach. So Halo Reach, these elites are actually stronger now. They have a health of 50 instead of 30 from the previous games, or 40 if you want to count Halo 2's Heretic elites. Their health recharge time is a lot longer though. 20 seconds to fully heal, with a 6-second delay before they start healing. That's significantly longer. Their shields are a pretty weird number actually. They're slightly stronger, 79 points instead of 70 from a lot of the previous games. And their shield recharge time is a little slower, 3.5 seconds to fully recharge with a 3-second delay. The delay is shorter, but the recharge time is longer. As for their melee damage, these elites are actually stronger in that regard. They do 45 points of melee damage. That's even higher than Halo 1's elites. But their time to kill is 1.72, which is the second highest so far. So yeah, Halo Reach's elites are actually one of the strongest so far. But let's move on to Halo 4 now, the last game that we'll be comparing. And it is the last game because I cannot compare Halo 5, because as I always say in the previous comparisons, there are no mod tools available yet that lets me peek into the game files and take a look at the actual stats to make an objective comparison. So unfortunately, Halo 4 will be the last game we'll be comparing for this video. But let's take a look at their numbers. So their health is 50, just like Halo Reach's. Their health recharge time is also 20 seconds to fully recharge with a 6-second delay. Shield strength is also 79. Shields also take 3.5 seconds to recharge with a 3-second delay before they start recharging. And they also do 45 points of melee damage. And as a result, they have the same time to kill as Halo Reach's, which is 1.72. So yes, Halo 4's elites are, as far as these numbers go, identical to Halo Reach's elites. Now there may be some difference in like AIs, you know, they might be more accurate or they might be more intelligent, something like that. But as far as like their vitals go, I guess if you want to call these stats, they are pretty much identical to Halo Reach's. Kind of like how Halo 3's elites are identical to Halo 2's regular elites. So yeah, it seems like every couple of Halo games, some of the enemies so far it seems stay the same. So which Halo game has the strongest elites in the end after all this? Well, it's kind of a tough one. If you want to go by like how much damage they can take and time to kill and health and everything, that would be Halo 1's elites that are the strongest. They have way more health and way stronger shields than any other elite in the series. However, they only do 35 points of melee damage, which is consistent with Halo 2, 3, and yeah, Halo 2 and 3. But Halo Reach and 4's elites, they do 45 points of melee damage, so technically they are stronger in that regard. But in the end, for previous comparisons, I've kind of been giving the winner to who has the lowest, who has the highest time to kill as the strongest. And if you want to go by that, then it would indeed be Halo 1 that has the strongest elites. But if you want to go by which one does the most melee damage, as in like physical strength in that case, then that would be a tie between Halo Reach and 4. So it's up to you guys which criteria you want to use to determine which is the strongest elites. But we're gonna go by time to kill and overall health and shields. In which case, the Halo 1 elite would be the winner and is the strongest one in this case. They are the hardest to kill, but they don't do the most damage, but they are still the toughest in that regard. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this comparison, and if you did and found it to be interesting, make sure to leave a like, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what characters you guys want me to compare next, and I'll do my best to get around to it pretty soon. But other than that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys!